What is the best year for movies in between the years of 1968 and 1999? We are going to answer that for you in this episode. This is Talk Talk Punch. Thank you so much to both our audio podcast listeners and our YouTube viewers for joining us. I'm Brody, and this week I'm joined by Tudong Dylan.
Hey!
And the man of 1,001 nicknames, Charlie Hickman.
Yeah.
I like that you punched this week because I believe at the end of this, one of us is getting fired. So it's this week I have these two with me, but next week we'll see. We'll see. Hey, you know what? If at any point you like what you hear and you want more, we do have a Patreon where you can get exclusive content about things you will not hear on this main channel, such as mailbags, behind the scenes, special lists, that kind of fun stuff. It's just a chance for you to kind of get some extra us time. So you can find more information about that in the description below. And if you haven't already, we would honestly really love it if you liked and subscribed and hit the notification bell so you can come back here every Wednesday to hang out with us and have some fun, because this one is a good one, folks. We are picking the greatest year in between the years of 1968 and 1999 of movie history. Why are those dates like that, you ask? You say, hey, those are weird dates. Well, they are weird.
We thought 2000 and beyond, that could be something. We could do that later. But 1999 and then 64 is just too big. And so we didn't want to do that. 16 is just too small. We didn't want to do that. So it just wound up with 32, which brought us to 1968. So there you go. There it is. We can say the 20th century. These are the greatest movie years of the 20th century, brought to you by Talk Talk Punch. All right, guys.
This will be really fun in 2032 when we get to do this list, the 2000s through 2032. Yep.
Only 8 more years.
So stay tuned, folks. Make sure you come back and check that out in a few years.
Yeah, 8 years. We'll be more gray, and Charlie will still have a fantastic head of hair.
Well, hey, from your lips to God's ears, to my scalp. Let's go.
All right. How was this for you guys? Was this difficult? We got a lot of years.
This is really hard. There's going to be, look, this is going to be my attitude coming in. For a lot of these years, I really could go either way, but I'm going to vehemently defend the position that I chose as if it were the only correct answer.
Nice. Oh, no.
Dylan, how was this for you?
It got harder as it went. Like, I would start and be like, oh, this isn't so bad. And then just be like, wait a minute. What? So, I mean, I'm sure I could be swayed from my positions on some of the rankings of these things, but I mean, like, I put some time into it. As well. And
so what we did is we went through and we did this tournament all on our own. Okay, this is going to be a tournament style. So it's going to be a date versus a date, and then it's going to wind down into the last two. Tournament style. We each did this individually. And so we are coming in this with our own brackets so that we can kind of come in and say, this is what I thought. And then we'll see what the other guys thought. Luckily, there's 3 of us, so there can't be a tie. Right. So we will have a winner.
I'm going to abstain several times, but yes, go on.
So I didn't think this was as tough as you guys.
Wow.
We'll see.
This guy over here.
I just did it while I was in bed one night.
You're like the person who's doing the tournament based on mascots or like.
No, I went off.
A bobcat could probably take out an anteater. So sorry, UCI.
No, and I didn't even go off of like, oh, but I really like this movie. I was really trying to go off of these are the movies that I think were best for movies in general, for quality of movies, for just the overall year. Not just like, I really like that movie, so that needs to be higher, or I really dislike that movie. There was actually 1 or 2 years that I have movies that I really hate that I had to push through because I was like, it's still a better year. So we'll see. All right.
We'll see.
Let's
get it started. I'm excited.
Let's go ahead and jump to the bracket. Here we go. So, like I said, this is a tournament. So we are going year versus year. Years are progressing. Okay, we've got our round 1, we've got our Sweet 16, we've got our Elite 8, our Final 4, and our championship. Okay.
At the risk of delaying starting, at this point in the video, you can pause. Brody's going to link to a digital or printable version of the tournament bracket below. No problem, Brody. You got this.
Stop.
And then you can follow along, fill out your own bracket, and then come back and compare your answers to ours.
Oh, Charlie, why do you do this?
Oh, that would have been nice.
Oh, gosh, Charlie, why do you do this to me? like I don't have enough to do on this podcast. Come on.
Okay, fine. There's no link. There's no link below, but you can just make sure you fill out your imaginary bracket that you don't have in real life by writing down or typing into a device which year you're selecting.
We'll see.
And we'll see.
It's actually not a bad idea. Maybe I will put it into a Google Doc that you can then make a copy of for yourself.
All right. I love bringing these things to you live so that you can't say no.
Yeah, especially live as it's being recorded. Luckily, I'm the one editing, so if I really don't want to, I can just edit this out.
Just splice it out. All right. Fair enough.
Okay. First up, we're going to start over in bracket 1. So we have 1999 versus 1968. So I will just say, okay, 1999, we got things like Phantom Menace, Sleepy Hollow, Fight Club, but man, 1968, we've got 2001: A Space Odyssey. We've got Planet of the Apes. We've got Night of the Living Dead. We've got Rosemary's Baby. The Oscar winner was Oliver. I'm really focusing on 2001: A Space Odyssey and Planet of the Apes because these are fantastic movies. I went into this entire tournament thinking like, I'm going to have a huge recency bias. I don't know that anything's really old is going to progress for me. But for me, 1968, I chose over 1999.
Wow. Well, this is going to be our first disagreement then, because for me, and maybe this is just recency bias, but man, a year that has The Matrix at the top of the helm, The Sixth Sense, Fight Club. I know you mentioned some of these, but you didn't mention some other ones like Office Space and Mummy and 10 Things I Hate About You and Sleepy Hollow and The Iron Giant and Galaxy Quest and Austin Powers, The Spy Who Shagged Me and Being John Malkovich and American Pie and The Talented Mr. Ripley and Dogma and Boondock Saints.
Yeah.
Girl Interrupted and Magnolia and Eyes Wide Shut and Big Daddy.
So which one did you pick then?
I picked 99, man. Tarzan. You love Tarzan. You're a Tarzan guy.
I do love Tarzan. I forgot.
The Blair Witch Project.
I forgot that Tarzan came out in 1999.
Stir of Echoes, bro. You love Kevin Bacon.
I did really like
Entrapment. All you ever talk about is Sean Connery. Mystery Men with your boy Ben Stiller.
Okay. Can I just say something? You listed
actually
about 15 movies, Charlie. In our document of some of the biggest movies of the year, we have 3 movies. Where were all these, Charles?
I stopped adding movies in the 80s. I told you it was too hard. And then we just said everyone was on their own. Notting Hill, 1999.
I figured in our document, Charlie, our shared document.
I'm just a boy standing in front of 2 other boys, asking them to choose 1999.
Okay, hey, 2001: A Space Odyssey is a fantastic movie. Stanley Kubrick.
It is.
You all know I love my Stanley Kubrick.
You do.
Fantastic movie that was way beyond its years. We've got Planet of the Apes starting out an entire multi-generational franchise. Night of the Living Dead starting out this pretty much the entire zombie franchise, like zombie genre, not even franchise, genre. Okay. Oliver, I don't have a whole lot of connection with Oliver or Rosemary's Baby, but
we do get Winnie the Pooh and the Blustery Day
in 1968. Hey,
it's
a blustery day. It's a blustery day.
We get the original producers. There are a lot. And maybe this is look, we're going to talk a lot about our own personal biases as we go. I have not seen a lot of like the Western movies that I know people really love from like these couple years of the 60s. I have not seen like Bullet or Hang 'em High.
Bullet.
Yeah.
Steve McQueen. That's
Steve McQueen. That's not a Western, but it's whatever.
Okay.
What about
Silver Bullet?
So
Once Upon a Time in the West.
Okay. There we go.
The shakiest gun in the West. How about that?
I also said in our pre-production meeting, I said we don't have time to spend like multiple minutes on these, so we gotta. Dylan, it's 1968 versus 1999. Where do you?
I chose 1999. That's what I chose. 99. Give me Matrix or give me Death.
Send it down. Let's go.
Okay, 1999 moves on. Okay, next up. Well, 1968 actually made it really far for me, so this is going to be interesting. Like my bracket is already like
bracket busted, baby.
I'm already bracket busted.
That's the best part of March Madness.
I'm already busted. Okay, 1971 versus 1975. Charlie, how about you break this one down for us?
Me? All right. I went with 1975. Jaws. Monty Python, Holy Grail, Dog Day Afternoon.
It's the Cuckoo's Nest,
Rocky Horror Picture Show, Pink Panther. There's some fun movies. I just felt like there was a little bit more depth and a little bit more power at the top of 75. So that's the one I went with.
But A Clockwork Orange, Charlie.
I'm just going.
Clockwork Orange is there. Clockwork Orange is there, bro.
I'm just kidding. I picked 1975. This was actually one of the ones that I actually hate the Rocky Horror Picture Show. I hate that movie. I watched it. I know that's a controversial thing to say because it's got this huge cult following. I hate that movie, but 1975 still moved on because I thought that 1975 was a better year than 1971.
You were in the wrong company for this, Dylan. You want to educate this young man?
Road science fiction double feature picture show. I wanna go. No, it's fantastic, bro. You'll watch it again. We'll watch it together. You'll be fine.
I will never watch that movie again.
You would have loved. I went to one of Dylan's birthday parties, and where everyone dressed as Rocky Horror Picture Show characters.
Charlie was fantastic.
Yeah, I think we all pulled it off pretty well. We'll have to post some of the link to the pictures below.
I realized that other people love it. I watched it, and I said, I will never watch that again. Okay, so we're all agreeing 1975.
Well, did Dylan vote? You agreed?
Yeah, 75. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
All right. Well, hey, goodbye, 1971, Willy Wonka, Dirty Harry. We hardly know you. Okay, 1973 versus 1970, the year Dylan was born.
Ooh. What?
Aging you up?
Aging me way up.
All right. So, Dylan, who'd you pick in this battle of 70s?
I chose 1973. Give me Enter the Dragon. What other things are on 73? The Exorcist, Westworld, Westworld. Best Picture, The Sting. I haven't seen that one. But Enter the Dragon is one of the best movies there possibly is. Yeah, well, of course it is. And The Exorcist is unbelievable. Bro, I'm shocked you haven't said anything about Westworld yet, but 73 for me.
Okay, here's the thing is I never saw the original Westworld movie. I loved the show, never saw the movie. I also chose
I went 74. Am I the only one who went 74?
1973 versus 1970.
Oh, 70.
74.
No. Okay, whoops. Oh yeah. I'm looking at the wrong thing.
Yeah, you are.
I went 73.
Okay. Excellent. Yeah, 73 just seemed to be Enter the Dragon, The Exorcist. I thought those two alone were just way more iconic. 70, I don't know. I didn't see anything in 70.
Yeah, Patton is fantastic, and 5 Easy Pieces. Have you guys ever seen that? It's an odd movie.
Never saw it,
but a fantastic Jack Nicholson performance.
Okay, next up we have 1974 versus 1972. Charlie, you already told us what your pick was.
74, baby. Come on now. Godfather Part 2. Let's just say it. Young Frankenstein, Blazing Saddles, Chinatown, Longest Yard. Come on.
Now, I've got to say, if it were just about Godfather or Godfather 2, generally I go Godfather. But let me say this. I watched Deliverance just once. And I think I gave that DVD away. I thought, how bad could it be? And I saw how bad it could be. And I was like, oh, no. But then you got Blazing Saddles. You got Young Frankenstein. The way they made Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and I know Charlie hates it, but Chinatown, come on, forget it, Jake. It's Chinatown.
Hey. I just think maybe by today's standards, it's a little bit overrated. Probably have to see it when, but hey, 1974's got Benji. Let's talk about Benji. Who doesn't love Benji?
I also chose 1974. So yeah, Bro, what'd you choose?
I also chose 1974. So
I love it. We're in sync.
Yeah, I think Godfather was probably the standout of 1972, but beyond that, I was
yeah.
Okay, we are moving on to bracket 2. So we have 1980 versus 1976. 1980, of course, an all-time great year where we have The Shining, we have Empire Strikes Back, we have Ordinary People, we have Raging Bull, we have Caddyshack. These are great movies. And then 1976 having Rocky, Taxi Driver, The Omen, Network, and Carrie, just to name a few. I went with 1980. It's any year that has Empire Strikes Back, which is, in my opinion, one of the greatest movies ever made. Hard to beat. But then you have others on top of that. You have The Shining, which is another fantastic movie.
Yeah.
Anybody disagree with me?
Charlie, what'd you pick?
I went also with 1980. There are some fantastic movies in 1976, but yeah, 80 gets the nod for me.
Right.
If I had to go like Taxi Driver or Raging Bull, I'm going to go Raging Bull every time. Unbelievable performances. And Joe Pesci.
Yeah.
There you go. Okay.
76 does get a Freaky Friday, though, so.
Okay, next up, we have 1981 versus 1982. 1982, of course, having The Thing, Blade Runner, Tootsie, Gandhi, and E.T. While 1981, Raiders of the Lost Ark, Road Warrior, American Werewolf in London, Chariots of Fire, which won the Best Picture, and Escape from New York with Snake Plissken.
Old Snaky Poo.
Dylan?
So for me, Dylan, go.
Charlie, go for it.
Well, then since you're asking me, I went with 81. Oh,
I did too. I went 81.
I also went 81. Even though 82, my birth year, I really wanted to choose it just because it was such a special year. But no. I knew you were going to say that. That's why I chose the opposite, just because of that.
81's got a lot of good depth. We'll get into some more of the movies that are in there in the next round. But 1980 versus 1981 is going to be that's a slobber knocker. Yeah, that's going to be an interesting one.
Yeah, it is. Okay, next we have 1977. That was a big one. Versus 1979, which was also a big one. Dylan?
77 versus 79.
Yeah, so 77 had Star Wars, Close Encounters of the Third Kind. Annie Hall was the Best Picture winner. And 79, we had Alien. One of my favorites of all time. Apocalypse Now, Mad Max, Rocky 2. Rocky 2.
Yeah, I went 1979, if I'm going to be honest. Apocalypse Now, Alien, Mad Max, Rocky 2, Kramer versus Kramer. I actually appreciated it. I think I've seen Close Encounters of the Third Kind maybe once. I've never seen Smokey and the Bandit or Annie Hall, but I have seen The Spy Who Loved Me, and I'm like, that's great.
So I went with 77. I think it's just the fact of having Star Wars in there.
That's it. That's all it took.
No, that's not it.
You just said that. You said the fact that Star Wars is there is the only reason I chose it.
You're just putting
I'm paraphrasing.
words in my mouth.
I'm paraphrasing.
No.
I'm paraphrasing.
I think having Star Wars in there gives that year such a boost. If you go through the internet, so many lists of top movies start at 1977. 1977 was such a pivotal year for movies because of Star Wars. And then on top of Star Wars, you have Close Encounters of the Third Kind. You have A Spy Who Loved Me. Dylan, you love 007.
Yes, I do.
You love the James Bond movies, and you love The Spy Who Loved Me.
Well, in 1979, you get Moonraker, which, you know.
Oh, that's right. On. No. You don't count Moonraker.
Do we
Why
count
not?
Star Trek The Motion Picture? Do we count The Muppet Movie? What about Breaking Away? Meatballs.
Yes.
All that jazz.
And all that jazz. Charlie, what'd you pick? Because we tiebreaker.
There is not one single movie in 1980 or 1979, excuse me, that is as good as Star Wars. Not one. But there is not like a second movie in like 1977 that for me is I never liked Close Encounters of the Third Kind. I don't know if that's a hot take. It's kind of boring, and I just never really liked it. I never saw Smokey and the Bandit, so I admit to a blind spot there. I never really cared for The Rescuers. Saturday Night Fever. So there's not like a good. I know Annie Hall is like incredibly well thought of, or at least it was for a time. But I don't know how well that's held up, and I don't know. So for me, like, just as I'm going through the depth, 79 has the depth for me, and so that is the one that I chose.
Okay. All right, 1979 it is. All right, next up, 1978 versus 1983. 78.
Now that is our birth year.
Superman, Halloween, Deer Hunter, Grease, Dawn of the Dead. While 83 was Scarface. It also had Return of the Jedi. Maybe not as good as Empire, but Trading Places. We're just some of them.
Hey, A Christmas Story.
I've got to say this. 1978 actually is my birth year. So I don't care what was on. I'm just kidding. Superman it started the whole comic book movie craze. Halloween, it's not my cup of tea, but it certainly did change a lot of the genre, the horror genre. Deer Hunter, that won Best Picture, when I saw that, I don't know what exactly I was expecting, but sheesh. Dawn of the Dead. It was also excellent. I mean, so for me, I picked 1978.
Well, so I went the other direction. So I went 83, and this, look, I would love to sit here and tell you that I tried to block out recency bias, and not that 1983 is recent by any stretch of the imagination. And it's not like I watched any of these movies in 1983, but they are movies that I've seen. And so when I'm determining the quality of films, there might be like a dozen really fantastic movies that came out in 1978, and I've just never seen them and don't know what they are, or don't know how great they are. Superman's okay, like that's fine. It's a nice movie. I did like Halloween, like Grease is okay. I didn't have like an Invasion of the Body Snatchers phase. I'm not a big fan of National Lampoon's Animal House. I don't know if that's a hot take. I love Foul Play. That is a fantastic movie.
I loved Invasion of the Body Snatchers. That makes me want to pick 1978 even more.
But man, 83's got like the goods. It's got the goods, man. You get your like Star Wars, your Vacation, your Trading Places, a lot of great comedies. Scarface, hilarious. You get Christmas Story, War Games, The Outsiders, The Dead Zone, Twilight Zone, the movie, Mr. Mom, The Right Stuff, Christine, Flashdance, Sudden Impact, Risky Business, Monty Python's The Meaning of Life, Terms of Endearment, Cujo, Psycho 2. Who doesn't love the sequel to Psycho?
Very underrated.
The Big Chill, Strange Brew, The Man with Two Brains, Octopussy, Superman 3.
Oh, wow.
Valley Girl, come on now.
Sorry,
I went with 83, but I would be fine with either.
I went with 1978. You've got Superman, which is like the first big comic book movie, right? Like You'll Believe a Man Can Fly with Christopher Reeve as Superman. You've got Halloween, which is a franchise that is still going today. You know, Grease is iconic. You know, so
the car just flies off.
I went with 78. Sorry.
Grease is weird.
I'm not saying that it isn't weird, but it is iconic.
But fun, I said. But fun.
Oh, okay. I never liked A Christmas Story. I don't like that movie.
What?
I didn't like it as a kid. I don't like it now. I know.
Yeah, now that is a hot take. Brody hates Christmas.
I don't like A Christmas Story.
No, you hate Christmas. That's all right. All right, Grinch.
I love Christmas. Christmas.
No, you hate Christmas. You've never even seen a Miracle on 34th Street or It's a Wonderful Life. You hate A Christmas Story.
I don't. No.
You don't like eggnog, bro.
Can I let me defend?
I don't think we have time for you to defend yourself. I think we just need to go to the next category.
I'm going to, because I'm controlling the slides. So I'm going to defend myself. I don't like, in A Christmas Story, there's a mean Santa. Never liked it. Still don't like it. No Santa should be mean. I don't care.
He was like, come on, kid. I'm drunk.
Kid down the slide. He kicked him down the slide.
He did have it coming, though, for being honest. You know.
No.
If he kicked him, bro, he'd be spitting teeth. He pushed him with his foot. He was fine.
I didn't like it as a kid. I didn't like that there was a mean Santa, and I don't like it now. So
I love that. You know what?
I looked at that. Who's a mean Santa?
And that
Tim Allen in the Santa Claus. He's mean.
Yeah,
no, he's nice.
Oh yeah.
The Santa, and I know it's one quick scene. It's not very long, and it's only once. But I don't like that there's a mean Santa.
And yet you watch Bad Santa every year with Billy Bob Thornton.
I've never seen Bad Santa because I don't want to watch it because I don't like bad Santas. As somebody who wants to be a Santa Claus, my dream is to be a Santa Claus. It's very important to me that Santa Claus is nice no matter what. Okay, moving on. Okay, so we're moving on to bracket number 3 now. 1988 versus 1984. 88, of course, having Beetlejuice, Die Hard, Willow, just a couple. 1984, Terminator, Ghostbusters, Amadeus. These are just a couple. There's a lot. The 80s were jam-packed with movies.
Yeah, this was a hard one. Bro, what'd you go with, bro?
I went with, let me get there. I went with 1988. We have Beetlejuice, Die Hard, Willow. Those 3 that I named are so big. We've got Beetlejuice, who is this just iconic character. We finally had a sequel. I haven't seen it. I heard it wasn't very good, but whatever. And Die Hard, come on. It's a great Christmas movie. See,
this is how we can tell you don't love Christmas, because you think that's a great Christmas movie.
It's a great Christmas movie.
Very good point.
Die Hard is a better Christmas movie than A Christmas Story. Suck on
why are you trying to alienate people that are spending their hard-earned free time watching this show?
I said it. Die Hard's a better Christmas movie than A Christmas Story. Sorry if you don't.
Luckily, 1984 isn't when the Christmas Story came out.
Please subscribe anyways.
I chose 1984. Terminator, Ghostbusters. Ghostbusters is somehow become exceedingly not underrated, but underappreciated. I mean, like, you go back and you watch that is an exceedingly funny, witty, some parts a little scary movie. I love that movie. I chose 1984.
Little inappropriate.
Maybe you're inappropriate.
So a little behind the scenes of my process. There were certain years that were battling for jockeying for position, where I had to literally just take out like a pencil and start tallying in little columns movies that I thought were like, this is good. This was one of the hardest, like, year versus year.
This one was really hard.
I mean, I love, like Die Hard, Beetlejuice, Big, Who Framed Roger Rabbit, Coming to America, Rain Man, Naked Gun, They Live, Young Guns, Scrooged, Willow, The Great Outdoors, Bloodsport, Twins, Fish Called Wanda, Heathers, Land Before Time, Midnight Run, Bull Durham, Dirty Rotten Scoundrels, Working Girl. I mean, just it goes on and on. The Deadpool with Jim Carrey doing an Axl Rose impression. Funny Farm, Oliver and Company. I mean, just goes on and on. What a great year for movies. And then you look at 84 with Terminator, Ghostbusters, Temple of Doom, Karate Kid, Beverly Hills Cop, Gremlins, Nightmare on Elm Street, Romancing the Stone, Police Academy, 16 Candles, Neverending Story, Amadeus, Footloose, Revenge of the Nerds. This is Spinal Tap. It goes up to 11. We get Splash, Star Trek 3, Red Dawn, The Natural, Muppets Take Manhattan. I mean, my goodness.
I don't care who wins this one because they're both great.
This was like so hard, and I was really hoping that I wouldn't. I was really hoping to go first on this one, and I should have just jumped in and chimed in because then I wouldn't have to be the deciding vote. I checked 1988. I checked it, but I don't feel good about it. I don't feel good about it.
You should.
I think it's the wrong choice.
No,
I think it's the wrong choice.
No. It's a great choice.
I filled out my bracket in pencil, and I don't have an eraser. I cannot change my answer now. That's not how brackets work. You can't change ships midstream, as they.
Well, speaking of big ones, this next one was really tough for me. 1989, Batman, Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, Little Mermaid, When Harry Met Sally, versus 1990, which was Goodfellas, Edward Scissorhands, Total Recall. I mean, like these movies are so good. This one was.
Come on, bro.
Do I go first?
Give it to us.
I'll go first on this one because you all know what I'm picking, and that is 1989. This was not close. This was not hard. This was very easy. Not only do we get Batman and Indiana Jones' Last Crusade, National Lampoon's Vacation, we get Back to the Future 2 and Major League, and Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, Field of Dreams, Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, Lethal Weapon 2, Ghostbusters 2, Dead Poet Society, Roadhouse. We get The Abyss. We get Glory. Tango and Cash. It's Cash. It's Tango. It's Tango. It's Cash. Weekend at Bernie's. Come on. Parenthood, Born on the 4th of July, Turner and Hooch.
Oh, my goodness.
You can say anything in 1989. Which was also 1989. The far too scary children's movie, All Dogs Go to Heaven. See no evil, hear no evil. Come on. Wilder and Pryor at the height of their powers. Do the right thing. Steel Magnolias. I could go on and on. I haven't even gotten to Driving Miss Daisy.
Great year.
Great Balls of Fire.
What did you choose for this one?
I also chose 89.
Yes, boy.
I also chose 1989. So
we're
in agreement. We're in agreement.
Smart, gentlemen. You're a couple of big brains right there.
All right. Next, we have 1985 versus 1987. Charlie?
All right, bro. I went first last time. Who you got, bro?
So 1980, what did I say? 1985, we got Back to the Future, Beverly Hills Cop. We've got The Goonies. I've still never seen it. And then 1987, we've got RoboCop. We've got Predator. We've got Princess Bride. We've got Spaceballs. It's a Spaceballs. Spaceballs. Dylan?
I want you to do a re-recording. Hey, I chose 87, bro. Give me RoboCop or give me Predator.
I went with 87 as well.
I also went with 87. I looked at that and I was like, that's a really good lineup. And I'm sure Charlie has a far more exhaustive list than I do.
Oh, we can go on. We'll get there next round. But with Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, with come on, Full Metal Jacket, Lethal Weapon, Untouchables, The Lost Boys.
Okay. Next, we have 1986 and 1991. 1986 having Aliens, one of the best sequels ever. Platoon, Crocodile Dundee. That's
Platoon.
That's a knife. Versus 1991, Terminator 2.
Also one of the best sequels.
All-time great sequels. Silence of the Lambs, Beauty and the Beast, which I believe won Best Picture, right? The animated animated movie to win Best Picture. Was that it? Am I right there?
I'm not going to hold it against that year.
I think it was.
What did you choose?
I chose, what did I choose? I chose 1991. So I think
Dances with Wolves, by the way, won Best Picture in 1991.
What? Oh, maybe it was just nominated. It was nominated then, right? For Best Picture. It was so hard having Aliens versus Terminator 2 because those to me are like some of the best and just set up this really great year. And then you have Silence of the Lambs, which was fabulous. And then Beauty and the Beast being in my opinion, like one of the high peaks of Disney animation was Beauty and the Beast. So I had to go with 1991.
Charlie?
I also went with 1991. It's kind of a powerhouse year. And there's a lot of great depth, and I'm sure we will talk about that in the next round. So I'll save some ammunition for when I need it to battle.
Dylan, what were you? 91?
I also was 91. Yes.
Okay.
Smart.
Okay. Next we have 1996 and 1992. 96 being Jerry Maguire, Independence Day, Mission Impossible, year of Tom Cruise, apparently.
Seriously.
And 1992, we had Unforgiven, A Few Good Men, Reservoir Dogs. Dylan?
96 versus 92. I actually chose 92. I think Unforgiven is one of the best westerns of all time, and I think it deserved to win Best Director. I think A Few Good Men. I loved Tom Cruise in that. He was phenomenal, and I mean, he was great in Jerry Maguire, and he was great in Mission Impossible. Independence Day was fine, I suppose, but I think the Reservoir Dogs was the beginning of a kind of an era, and Unforgiven was almost like underlining an era. I think that year is fantastic, and I chose 92.
This was another hard like year to year, and let me just say this was the decade of Tom Cruise. I mean, so like a lot of these 90s and in late 80s, they're going to be littered with old Tommy. I went with 96, and I recognize that this was a tough choice. As I said, there was some really good, like top heavy stuff in 92, but man, there's just some good depth, like some fun movies in 96 that I just really enjoyed. Beyond like Jerry Maguire, which I loved, but like, like the Twisters and Screams, and Fargo is a fantastic movie. Kingpin was kind of a fun laugh. Stuff like 101 Dalmatians and Primal Fear, Space Jam, Mars Attacks was wild and weird. So like it was hard. What'd you guys think of First Contact? Did we like Star Trek First Contact?
Oh, Star Trek
yes.
First Contact.
Yeah, that was
this was a 96er,
right?
That was the second. The second Next Generation movie, because the first was Generations.
Where they went against the Borg. I like that one.
Yeah, that's a good one.
And we also got "Give Me Back My Son."
Give me back my son.
Give me back my son.
Okay, there's a lot of good action movies through there. Another Christmas movie that Brody hated, Jingle All the Way, 96. Brody hated it.
It's okay.
You didn't like all the Santas beating up Schwarzenegger?
No.
A lot of mean Santas in that one. Lots of mean Santas.
Not allowed. Well, even with that, though, I did pick 1996. I thought having Mission Impossible in there is great. Jerry Maguire. Independence Day was really like an event. It was like a summer event. It came out right smack dab in the middle of summer. And man, that just took the theaters by storm. So I went with 96.
Hey, Sergeant Bilko, 96, baby. Did you? I know we'll probably talk about it later in the next round, but did you guys like Escape from LA? This was another 96 movie.
Nope.
We've never talked about it. It's not a good movie, right? Do we all agree on that, or Does it have a special place in your heart? Okay.
No, it really lost me when they were surfing. It was like,
I saw that on the list, and I don't know if we just never talked about it because one of us didn't want to admit that we really loved it or not, and then I would feel bad for saying
New York. As much as it's aged, it's a bit slow, but I think it's still great. But
hey, Steve Buscemi, fantastic in that.
L.A. not so much.
Yeah.
All right. Next, we have 1997 versus 1998. 97 having all-time great movie, Fifth Element, As Good as It Gets, Donnie Brasco, 98, Saving Private Ryan, A Bug's Life, Something About Mary. Charlie, didn't you already mention Something About Mary?
Could have.
I've mentioned nothing about Mary.
Oh, I thought you mentioned that as a different year. I thought maybe I had my wires crossed.
You do.
Your wires are crossed, bro.
Wires are crossed.
Uncross them.
We can rewind the tape later and see what I said, but
that's all right.
I don't say movies out of the year that they're supposed to be in here, bro. That's
That's right. If you just said that, I would have been like, wait a minute, what?
Well, look, 97. I went 97. It's got Dylan's favorite movie of all time, Titanic. One of my worst date stories ever was at that movie. We get Air Force One. Well, you get off my plane. Do it.
Get off my plane.
We get a lot of like fun. Like this is where like my recency bias really takes hold. Because I'm like, oh, LA Confidential, Starship Troopers. Oh, As Good as It Gets, Boogie Nights, Jackie Brown, Donnie Brasco, Hercules, Scream 2, Gattaca, Grosse Point Blank. And I'm just like reading through. Brody, did you like Grosse Point Blank? John Cusack, come on. I know you do.
I don't remember it. Have I seen
it? Holds up.
Unbelievable.
He's like a hitman who goes back to his high school reunion. Don Cusack. It's good. It's worth a.
It's really good. You got to watch that one, bro. It's really fun.
Charlie, I know that you and I saw what did you just say? I totally just forgot what you said. What's the bug one?
A Bug's Life?
A Bug's Life.
No.
Starship Troopers.
Starship Troopers. Thank you. I just totally blanked. You and I saw Starship Troopers in theaters together.
Yes, we did. Hey, bro, 1997. You haven't mentioned it yet. One of your all-time favorite movies, 1997. Are you going to mention it?
Fifth Element? It was the first thing I mentioned.
Yeah.
No, not that.
You haven't mentioned it. You have not. Yeah.
It's the one that you like to show your dates back in the day.
Oh yeah.
It was, Event Horizon was 1997.
Yeah, I thought you would just auto move this through when you saw Fifth Element and Event Horizon in the single year. It's like, all right, we don't stand a chance against this year. Brody's just moving auto moving. We could pick the other year. Dylan and I could both agree, and you'd still be like, nah, it's 97. On to the next category.
I control the mouse. No,
that's right.
I forgot about that.
You are the Walt Disney of this.
It's a good thing that I picked 1997. So
it's a really good thing.
It's a great date movie. Event Horizon. Show it to all your loved ones.
All your loved ones. Great for the whole family. Show the kids.
My daughter's already watched it. She's 2.5.
I'm not surprised.
Got to start them young.
She hasn't watched. I'm just kidding, everybody.
So I picked 1997. What?
All right, good.
Anybody picked?
I did too.
Charlie?
Yeah, 97.
97. Moving on. Okay, 1993 versus 1995. 1993 having Schindler's List, The Fugitive, and Tombstone. Versus 1995, unfortunately, has Batman Forever. It also has Seven and Heat and Casino.
Which one are you on?
What are you saying? Such disdain.
1995 versus 1993. In bracket 4. Sorry, I didn't announce that we had moved on to a new bracket.
So this was 95 for me, and it's another close one. Like, I loved the movies of 93, but 95's got Toy Story and Seven, Heat, Usual Suspects, Braveheart. Die Hard with a Vengeance, Apollo 13, Jumanji, 12 Monkeys. I mean, just an action-packed year. And that doesn't even get us to like the Golden Eyes and Clueless's, Babes, Tommy Boys, Pocahontas, if you're into that kind of thing. Friday, Outbreak, Crimson Tide. I mean, it goes on. It was a good year with but it wasn't just like filler depth movies. There's some really great like top movies too. So I went 95.
I went with fillers. I went with 93.
Ooh, I love it.
So I also went with 1993. Just
really?
the fact
I thought I was going to be way alone on that.
The fact that Batman Forever was in there just really dropped it. But 93, you've got Demolition Man. You've got Last Action Hero. You've got Groundhog Day, Charlie. Groundhog
I love
Day.
Groundhog Day. I love it. It's got the Sandlot. The Sandlot. Nightmare Before Christmas. I love 93. Cool Runnings, man.
Leprechaun. You know, it's got some good ones.
My wife and I will still, whenever one of us is sick or just not feeling well, we look at each other and we say, "Are you dead, man?" From Cool Running. So yeah, yes, I am. That's the very. Hey, this was. I'm happy to lose this one. 93 is a fantastic year. Move it along.
All right. Lastly, for the first round, we have 1994 versus 1969. So
Can I go first?
Having Forrest Gump, Shawshank Redemption. That's all we have on our list. Versus 1969, Easy Rider, Butch Cassidy, The Sundance Kid, Midnight Cowboy, Best Picture, and Hello Dolly and Wild Bunch.
I chose 1969.
Did you really?
I did.
I looked at that list and I was like,
I've never seen any of it.
One of those. No, I saw Easy Rider. I've seen Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, but
hey.
So no, I went 1994.
Come on, Charlie, go ahead and say.
I am a little bit surprised, Dylan, because 94 has, when I first met Dylan, he looked exactly like The Crow.
The Crow.
Yeah. We've got Interview with a Vampire, which we've talked about recently in a vampire episode. It's got one of my all-time favorite movies, The Shawshank Redemption, in there. Lion King, Pulp Fiction, Forrest Gump, Speed,
Stargate.
The Professional, True Lies, Dumb and Dumber.
Some of these I wasn't taking into consideration, but it's also okay. I know where the bracket's going, but I did pick 69, and I'm owning 69. I'm assuming you picked 94.
Nice. I picked 94. I went with, because it's got 4 Weddings and a Funeral, so I can't go against my boy. I got to get both my boys into the finals somehow. Got to get Hugh Grant there. I got to get Tommy there.
I'll be honest, I didn't look past a lot of what we just had in our list right there. So when I looked at the list, I was like, Shawshank Redemption, it's kind of like Lockup, except no Stallone. Forrest Gump was
easy there. You want to ruin the Shawshank Redemption? You put Stallone in there. Like have him as the Morgan Freeman narrator character.
And then you have it. Hey,
there was a lot of fresh fish that walked into the
Lockup came first. Although if I'd have thought of Interview with a Vampire, I probably would have changed my vote. But yes, I own it. 69. 1969 is what I.
If you're gonna own it. I don't know how I just went from trying to do a Stallone impression to doing a Stallone does a Forrest Gump impression, but that's where we are at. It just felt like a box of chocolates and not a 4. He would have been a great Forrest Gump. I think we can all agree that Stallone would have been like a better choice for that.
Might have changed.
I was running.
I just kept on running, eh?
So we are through round 1. So we're moving on to the Sweet 16. These should probably move a little bit faster because we've already gone through a lot of the movies that are in these years. But let's go ahead. We're going to 1999 versus 1975. So I
chose. Go for it. Go.
No. Go.
I chose 1975. Jaws is a hell of a drug.
I went the other direction. I went 99, and I know just recency bias. That's a hell of a drug. That's true. I mean, that's a beautiful top.
Come on, bro.
I gotta look. Well, so this is where things get jumbled up for me because I picked 1968 in the first round. So, I feel like
well.
I gotta go 99. I think 99 is probably the better year than 75. Sorry.
Mystery Men, Dylan. We love Mystery Men.
Mystery Men.
That's true.
Notting Hill.
We do love it.
Stuart Little. We've often talked about Stuart Little as an underrated family classic.
Come on.
Very true. Very underrated.
Duel of the Fates gives us a great year.
Hey, you want a nice deep cut? Bowfinger, underrated film. Steve Martin.
Oh, that's true.
Eddie Murphy.
Yeah,
That is an underrated quality film.
Very.
And because all of these years tend to have a baseball movie in it, we get For the Love of the Game. Not a great film, not a bad film.
Okay.
Not the Kevin Costner baseball movie. 99, maybe. The Audition, by the way, Dylan. 99. Oof.
Oh.
We have 1973 versus 1974.
I had 73.
Dylan had 73. Charlie?
I had 74.
Oh, I also had 74. Why did I have 74? What's the 74? Oh, Godfather Part 2, Blazing Saddles. Yeah, I know.
So you both picked 73 or 74?
Yeah.
Sorry.
I'm sorry.
Enter the Dragon. I feel terrible now that we're saying it out loud.
I know.
The original Wicker Man, Brody, we blew it.
Godfather Part 2 is really good. And so is Blazing Saddles.
Young Frankenstein.
True.
It's Frankenstein. Okay.
Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla, by the way.
Yes. Okay. Oh, didn't mean to move that. All right. Next, we have 1980 versus 1981. It's interesting how in the Sweet 16 we got so many years that are back to back. It was all just randomized according to this template that I used. 1980 versus 1981.
I had 1980.
What'd you have, bro?
Bull, Shining.
I also had 1980. Empire Strikes Back, man. Shining.
Any year with Popeye, and it's got to move forward.
Absolutely. That was the tiebreaker.
Yeah, 1980 is good.
Do you choose 1980 also, Charlie?
Yeah.
Nice.
Hey, Herbie Goes Bananas, man. 1980. It's a good year.
Next, we have 1979 versus 1978. 79 had Alien. 78 had Superman. Charlie?
I chose 78.
Oh.
I'm trying to go fast.
Oh, we don't have to go we don't have to rush through it.
Brody, what do you got?
Where am I? I gotta look and see. I chose 1977.
79 versus 78.
Yeah, well, in the first round, I chose 1977 over 1979. So, but in the case of 1979 versus 1978, I think I got to go 1979. Well, having Alien in there, having Rocky 2 in there, Mad Max kind of to set that whole thing off. It's Apocalypse Now. Sorry. Charlie,
what'd you get?
So originally, in my personal bracket, I had 83, and then I had 83 taken home this next round too. But you guys, you said no 83. So I am going to go with 78 because if 78 is good enough to beat 83, it's certainly good enough to beat 79.
What?
And that's how you're doing that? Just science.
That makes sense. That's
by the laws of the transitive property.
That's mathematics right there.
All right. These are getting tough because I keep losing. Okay.
Excellent. Next,
over in bracket 3, we have 1988 versus 1989. Talk about powerhouse years.
This is an easy 89 for me. This is easy 89 all the way home. Let's go, baby.
Me too.
Right. Dylan, you're an 89. I'm also an 89. So
nice.
Okay, and then we have 87 versus 91. 87, RoboCop versus Terminator 2. Come on, it's like the eternal battle. It's practically
the crossover we all deserve but never got.
It's okay because we also desered Predator versus Alien, and those didn't turn out so well. So I'm okay. We missed out.
We did not.
Maybe we got the exact crossover that we ended up deserving. Then in that case, we didn't deserve a nice one.
What did I choose? I chose 87. 1987.
87. Brody, really? Wow. Okay. I went the other way.
You went with 1991?
I did. Yeah.
Oh, all right. Tudong, you're the tiebreaker on this one.
I chose 87.
I'll be back.
It was tough going against
Point
Terminator
Break.
2.
You guys didn't want Hot Shots? Thelma and Louise? What about Bob the Last Boy Scout? JFK? Boys in the Hood? City Slickers? Hook? Father of the Bride? Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey? Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead? Dishes are done, man. The Rocketeer? Doc Hollywood?
Charlie, we've got Running Man. We've got RoboCop. We've got Predator. We've got...
You're just voting for RoboCop.
So?
You're so transparent.
Harry and the Hendersons, Charlie, is 1987. Creepshow 2.
Ooh.
Monster Squad is 1987.
Oh, I didn't even think of that. That's right.
Masters of the Universe. Come on. Beverly Hills Cop 2.
Wait, are you trying to name movies that to help the year or hurt the year? I can't tell with your Harry and the Hendersons and Masters of the Universe.
Yeah.
Come now. Well, it doesn't matter because 1987 won.
Yeah. You guys got your way, you bullies.
Okay. 1996 versus 1997. Charlie, where'd you fall?
I went 97.
Oh, I went with 1996. I know
you went against Fifth Element and Event Horizon. I am shocked.
But having the Mission Impossible in there, I thought was really set up that year.
If I told you that Anaconda was in 97, would that change your mind one way or the other?
Hey, I saw that in theaters. Okay.
Yeah, you did.
Also, Mars Attacks.
Hey, Waiting for Guffman, 97.
Broken
Arrow.
Arrow.
Brody, I know you're a big Good Burger guy. That was 97.
The Phantom. I saw The Phantom in theaters too. Hunchback of Notre Dame, the Disney. I did. Hey, it's okay. Muppet Treasure Island, one of the best Muppet movies.
Oh, that's a terrible Muppet movie.
Bro, have you seen The Great Muppet Caper?
Yeah, I've seen them all.
You haven't seen The Great Muppet Caper?
Yes, I have.
You haven't seen The Great Muppet Caper? That's preposterous.
Okay. The Frighteners also came out in 1996. Dylan?
Good year, no doubt.
You're our tiebreaker.
Well, I for me, it was between 92 and 97, and I didn't choose. So I'd probably go 97. Like Donnie Brasco, as good as it gets. Fifth Element, Road.
The Crow.
What do you mean The Crow?
Crow's
What are you talking about? Yeah, that wasn't 96.
City of Angels.
Well, now you've given me more reason to choose 97. Thank you, bro. I feel even better about choosing 97.
It's funny the memories we have of some of these, late 90s movies attached to bad dates or, weird experiences. Right. Watching City of Angels and going, it'd be really fun right now if she got hit by a car and just died. And then a car came out of nowhere and hit her on the bike. And I've never been punched as hard as I got punched by my dad. I had no idea what was going to happen. I just say snarky things all the time. Terrible ending. What a horrible ending. If the ending of your movie is something an obnoxious teen would say while sitting on a couch, it's probably a bad idea. That's just spitball in here.
Bad idea. All right. Speaking of bad ideas, we've got 1993 versus 1994.
I know some of you didn't even want 94 to be in here, but you're wrong. 94 is fantastic. And Stallone, thankfully, was not in the Shawshank Redemption. And so I'm casting my ballot for the 1994
Demolition Man. Yeah. Charlie, why do you keep trying to go against Demolition Man? Stop it.
Yeah, what's wrong with Demolition Man?
Demolition Man is an amazing movie. So
there was something wrong with Demolition Man.
That's 1993.
If those are the two best movies you got of your year, though, I think that's probably probably
also
bad
Lost
sign.
Action Hero
of 93.
It's also
Schindler's
got
List,
Groundhog
The
Day.
Fugitive, Tombstone,
Groundhog Day.
All right, if you want to play the name, just listing movie game, 94, Shawshank, Lion King, Pulp Fiction, Forrest Gump, Speed, Professional, True Lies, Dumb and Dumber, Santa Claus, Clear and Present Danger, The Mask, Ace Ventura, The Crow, Maverick, Interview with a Vampire, Stargate, Natural Born Killers, Legends of the Fall, Clerks, Reality Bites, Four Weddings and a Funeral, The Client, Ed Wood, Wes Craven's New Nightmare, which was terrible, Quiz Show, Star Trek Generations, Wyatt Earp, Naked Gun, 33 1/3, The Final Insult, Angels in the Outfield, Richie Rich, man. D2, The Mighty Ducks. Airheads. Who didn't love The Hudsucker Proxy. Time Cop, boys. Time Cop.
Okay, so should I name? So I'm guessing you went with 94 then, Charlie.
I did.
Okay, well, I went with 93, where we have Cliffhanger. We've got Rudy. We've got Jurassic Park. Jurassic Park. We've got Batman Mask of the Phantasm. Rookie of the Year. Last Action Hero, Coneheads, Demolition Man, Leprechaun. So I Married an Axe Murderer, Charlie. Right. You love So I Married an Axe Murderer.
I do like that movie.
Hot Shots Part 2.
Now I chose 1969 over 94, and I chose 93 over 69, which is also over 94. So I guess technically chose 93.
Man, you guys are off the rails. Little Giants just got eliminated. Little Giants. Underrated Pee-wee football movie. I did not like The Rookie of the Year. I don't know if that's a hot take, but that's like one of my least favorite baseball movies of all time. When I was a kid watching that, as a young child, the lack of realism in the baseball really bothered me. Can you imagine a snotty little like preteen kid sitting down watching that movie and just being like, but the baseball is not realistic? There's no way that would work in a real game.
Nice.
But there was Batman Mask of the Phantasm. So, all right, we are through the Sweet 16. Let's move on to the Elite 8. We're getting down to the last ones here. So we got 1999 versus 1974. I can't start because I still had 1968 at this point. 1968 made it pretty far for me.
I went 99, and I just a boring take. There's just more movies in that year that I enjoy.
Tudong?
I had that. I had 1975 beating 99. We didn't get to 75, so I guess I'll go with 99.
All right. I think if we're between those two, I'm also going to go 1999. All right, 1980 versus 1978. 1980 being Empire Strikes Back. I went with 1980. 1980 was still on my list at this point.
I went with 78.
Ooh. Tudong?
And I'm not totally sure why, but I did. just because it beat the one that I wanted to be here, which wasn't 78. So
78 had Superman, Halloween, Deer Hunter, Grease.
You know what? I'm changing my answer. I'm going with 80.
Yeah, 80 is the better answer.
I went with 1980 oddly as well.
It wasn't on my bracket. I'm not changing my bracket. I didn't have 78 in this year, but
sure.
You know, I did 1980, 1978. Yeah, but I chose 80. Yeah.
All right, then we have 1989 versus 1987. Batman, Indiana Jones, Last Crusade. And we've got RoboCop, Predator, Princess Bride.
There are some amazing movies in 87. I mean, and just great ones, classics. When we've said a lot of the names already, but some of like the deeper cuts, like Raising Arizona, I really like. There was a special place in my heart for La Bamba growing up.
Ooh, yeah.
Even like cheesy movies that I probably have not held up very well, like 3 Men and a Baby, where it's like, no, but they're guys and they're caring for a child. It's hilarious. Or Nightmare on Elm Street 3. There's Mannequin. There's some fun, the little inner space. Some movies that like I enjoyed, but even as I'm saying those movies out loud, just in comparison to the juggernauts of 89, there's just no chance, man. My all-time favorite movie, of course, When Harry Met Sally is on there, but just like my every year we got to watch National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, the one Christmas movie that Brody does like. Major League is another top 10 all-time favorite movie of mine. And then like, the deep cuts here are good. I love Weekend at Bernie's and Parenthood. I think are both really good comedies that have held up.
Yeah.
I love See No Evil, Hear No Evil. I mean, just like so many good, like, and I already listed off like all of these, so I won't put everyone through it again. But UHF, man, Fletch Lives. There's the deep cuts here are better, and like the top, it's more. I like the top better too. So this is my winner.
Rose?
I went with 1989.
Yeah, me too.
Hey,
me too.
Shocker. The movie, not the movie. Shocker was 89.
Was it really?
Well, yeah. Do you remember that one? The guy gets electrocuted and then
that was
allows him to come back as electricity.
Yeah.
Friday the 13th. Also part 8. Jason Takes Manhattan and Fred Savage in Little Monsters.
Huh.
I don't know if have you guys ever seen that where like he goes like under the bed and it's like a whole underground society?
Isn't Howie Mandel? Isn't Howie Mandel the monster?
Oh yeah.
Turns the lights on. He's nothing but clothes.
Yeah, that's fun.
Okay.
All right, 97, 93, boys. Where we at?
97, 93. Oh gosh, I 97 didn't make it for me, so.
Yeah, me neither.
I was
how did 97 not make it for either of you? But it made it to this round.
Yeah, bro, what happened?
Because I had 96 beating 92 and then 96 beating 97.
But so you didn't.
So I
didn't
had
you pick 97 instead of 96? Wasn't it 97 versus 1996 last round?
Yeah, we had 1996 versus 1997.
So Dylan picked 1997 over 96 is what you're saying. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I'm all caught up. 97 is not a bad. I don't know what you guys acting like it's a bad year of movies. That's a lot of good movies in there.
It's not a bad year of movies. We're getting towards really good years of movies here.
My Best Friend's Wedding.
It's like 97. Both of us have chosen 97 because of Fifth Element and As Good as It Gets. What are you talking about, bro?
Anastasia. Wag the Dog. The Saint. Flubber.
Men in Black.
Yeah, I thought we both chose 97 over 96.
I didn't.
I chose 97 over 96. Yeah, Brody was the holdout. So I went 97 over 93. I don't know where you guys are at with that. That's how I have it.
I would go with that. I didn't get to that point, but yeah, I'll choose 97 over 93.
I think I'd agree with that.
Yeah.
All right.
93 was good though.
Final four. Final four here. So 1999 versus 1980.
All right, Brody, where are you going?
Oh, golly. I'm going with 1980. I think 1980 having Empire Strikes Back. I know I keep bringing that up, but golly, it's just one of the follow-up to one of the biggest movies, at that point, right? And then you have The Shining. You've got Raging Bull. You've got Caddyshack. There's more that I'm not even mentioning. I think 1980 was such a good year.
Charlie, what's yours?
This is a tough one, and I think like the top heaviness of 1980 is really strong. It's a really good argument, and even like the good comedies like Caddyshack and Airplane, good horror movies like The Shining, and of course like you got your Superman, your Star Wars. Friday the 13th, Airplane. I mean, just like really good. Even like 9 to 5 is a nice little picture.
Superman 2. Superman 2 was 1980.
Ooh, I didn't know that. I love Superman 2.
Ordinary People is like dramatic. The Blue Lagoon was weird. I don't know. The Gods Must Be Crazy was odd. It's just a weird kind of year. There's more movies in like 1999. Like if I was just picking out movies that I wanted to watch, and I just flipped through the year and you told me I had to watch 20 movies, I could get to 20 much faster and without as much like groaning, easy in 99. So I'm just gonna go 99. I think that there's just better depth.
That's tough. I'm looking through 1999 right now, and it is a pretty good year. Eyes Wide Shut. I still get my Kubrick.
Mm-hmm. We're all older than Kevin Spacey was in American Beauty, and that still like kind of freaks me out a little bit.
Oh, that's weird.
Talk about a movie that like people loved and then just has not held up at all. That is such a.
I didn't like it when it came out.
I mean, it was like a whole thing, man. But The Iron Giant, that's good stuff. Talk about a movie that'll make you cry.
Okay, honestly, I think really looking at the force of the catalog of 1999, I think I may need to change to 1999.
Was it Pushing Tin? Did it?
Was it what?
Pushing Tin. No, it's a terrible movie. Sorry, go on. Go ahead, Dylan.
Now, 1975 lasted longer, like on my things here, and it beat 1980. So I'm gonna go 1999 as well.
Poor 75.
Had a gadget. Okay. Next, we have 1989 versus 1987. Okay.
This is a pretty easy 89 for me.
Yeah, me too.
Not to sound like a broken record, but that's my year right there.
I also have 1989.
I had 1989 versus like against 92, and it beat 92. Yeah, so yeah.
Well, we get 89 versus 99, which is that's a pretty fun finals.
Yeah, right.
A decade in between them. Drag them up, throw them down.
1999 versus 1989.
Roadhouse.
Okay, Charlie, can you go ahead and list off? Let's just like relist some of these movies.
Okay. All right, I'm going to start with 99 because you said it first. So some of the more recognizable movies of 99 include The Matrix, Fight Club, Sixth Sense, Green Mile, The Mummy, Office Space, 10 Things I Hate About You, American Beauty, Sleepy Hollow, The Iron Giant, Cruel Intentions, Galaxy Quest, Austin Powers, The Spy Who Shagged Me, Being John Malkovich, South Park, Bigger, Longer, Uncut, American Pie, The Talented Mr. Ripley, Dogma, Boondock Saints, Girl Interrupted, Magnolia, Double Jeopardy, which you love, Brody, for some reason. I don't know why I know that, but I know you love it. Eyes Wide Shut.
I do like Double Jeopardy.
I know. I don't know why I know that. Election, The Bone Collector, Payback, Deep Blue Sea, Any Given Sunday, Man on the Moon, Analyze This, The Blair Witch Project, The Thomas Crown Affair, Boys Don't Cry, The Cider House Rules, Star Wars Phantom Menace, and others. So The General's Daughter of Kessler fame, Mystery Men. But not to be outdone. 89, we got Batman, Indiana Jones' Last Crusade, National Lampoon's Vacation, Back to the Future 2, Uncle Buck, Major League, Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, Field of Dreams, Little Mermaid, Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, Lethal Weapon 2, Ghostbusters 2, Dead Poets Society, Roadhouse, The Abyss, which is fantastic, Glory, which is fantastic, When Harry Met Sally, the greatest movie of all time, Tango and Cash, Weekend at Bernie's, The Burbs, Lean on Me, Born on the 4th of July, Parenthood, Turner and Hooch, Pet Sematary, Say Anything, Look Who's Talking, All Dogs Go to Heaven, See No Evil, Hear No Evil, War of the Roses, Do the Right Thing, Steel Magnolias, Dead Calm, License to Kill, Driving Miss Daisy, Kiki's Delivery Service, which is fantastic if you've never seen it, nice little anime. Star Trek V, The Final Frontier, Black Rain, Sea of Love, Drugstore Cowboy, The Fabulous Baker Boys, Harlem Nights, UHF, Who's Harry Crumb, Fletch Lives, Sex, Lies, and Videotape, The Karate Kid Part 3, if you're into that kind of thing. Chances are, Crimes and Misdemeanors, Nightmare on Elm Street 5.
Those are both really good years.
Hey, We're No Angel if you want a Sean Penn, Robert De Niro where they pose as priests movie.
Now, I've got to say, my last final championship bracket was between 75 and 89. And for me, 79 took it all the way. So, and I was like listening to it. Huh?
I said, wow, 79.
Yeah. 75. Did I say 79?
75.
I said the whole time. 75 took it all the way. 75 went against 89. And 75 took it. And as I was listening to the 99 being listed out, I've got to say that I was like, I was very, very, I thought maybe I'll change it to 89, but then hearing all the 99 ones, I'm going with 99.
Well, I'm firmly in the 89, which also had Teen Witch, which we just introduced to Brody because he had never seen the Top That rap battle sequence, which is amongst the greatest, cringiest clips of all time. If you've never seen it, do yourself a favor and go ahead and pause this video right now and look up the Top That rap battle from Teen Witch. It's worth your time.
Oh, so this is coming down to me.
Oh, yeah. Tiebreaker Brody.
Well, and
hey, Brody, No Holds Barred was 89.
Oh.
Did that do anything for you?
No Holds Barred. What's that smell? Dookie.
Also, the original Punisher with Dolph Lundgren, 89.
Oh, there you go. No, I had this. My choice was my champion, made it all the way, and that's 1989. I think having Batman in there was so big for movie. I remember Batmania, like having Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade in there was huge. Having Back to the Future, like there is so much in there. Uncle Buck, and like Look Who's Talking, Parenthood, like it's just Weekend at Bernie's. There's so many. You can just go down the list, and you're like, classic movie, classic movie, classic movie, classic movie, classic movie. You could just keep going. And 1999 is great. And as Charlie was reading that, I was like, shoot, man, maybe 1999 like should win this, even though I picked 89 to win. But then as you went through 89, I was like, no, I think that 89 is just a better year for movies, like all around. So we're going with 1989 as the greatest year for movies in the 20th century.
Charlie, did that go all the way for you too?
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, and granted,
it always feels good to pick the champ in your bracket.
Charlie, would 89 have made it that far when Harry Met Sally wasn't in there?
It's a great year. But then if you're taking it, are you taking it out of existence? Like when Harry Met Sally doesn't exist anymore? Or is it going to another year?
No, out of existence.
It certainly would have been, it's one less truly great movie that I love in a year. So it might have been more of an argument. It's these hypotheticals you can't get. Well, what if Batman 89 didn't exist? Would it have made it as far for you? Obviously not.
Well, I would say that Batman 89 was a bigger cultural event for movies than when Harry Met Sally was. Maybe at the time, but if you talk about cultural impact over time, there's far more people that still remember and quote fondly when Harry Met Sally than there are people who quote Batman 89. Just saying. There hasn't been like a new version of when the characters from When Harry Met Sally that came along that like has replaced it as the most beloved When Harry Met Sally movie. But there have been multiple Batman movies now that people enjoy better than that Batman. So nothing against that Batman. I love Batman 89. But is it still culturally relevant? Do you think Jack Nicholson was the best Joker?
I think you want to get nuts. Let's get nuts.
Charlie, you ever danced with the devil?
Is that from Network?
That's from Network, yeah.
What's that from, Brody? Is that from Moondance with Cher? Nicolas Cage?
That's from Roadhouse.
Roadhouse. I don't know why I'm arguing with you. I love 1989. It's the winning year. I'm not trying to argue it. No, the movies you like from that year are stupid. I love Batman 89, by the way. But you're coming after my movie, so I gotta defend my movie.
I was just curious how much weight your favorite movie of all time had in the year of overall movies.
I mean, obviously, it had a lot of weight. What do you want me to say? That I didn't consider my favorort movie when I was considering the list?
Just curious. It's okay. It's okay.
I'm sorry I can lie to you and say no. I didn't even realize When Harry Met Sally was in 1989. What a random year. I didn't know. I didn't put it on the list.
Get out of here. All right. It was a genuine question. I ask good questions, Charlie.
Look, there are other years that would have been hard. You guys dismissed 91 and 94 and some of these other powerhouse years so quickly. I had other beloved movies in those. I didn't even get to talk about Defending Your Life in 1991.
What? 1991 made it past the first round. What are you talking about?
Yeah, and then quickly was like ceremoniously dispatched in round 2.
You should have spoke up.
You guys just went 87. Boom, boom.
Man, 87.
That does sound like us.
87 was a rocking year, though. So. All right. Well,
this was hard. This was fun, but it was hard.
It was fun, and yes, this is a long episode for us. We normally don't go this long, but hey, we were
making it in 2 parts.
We were. Jeez, no. I just need to stop giving me more work, Charlie. Please stop.
Link below for the second part.
It's just an extra long episode for you folks, because hey, this is a big one. We picked the greatest year in the 20th century, so there you go. And yes, we didn't include years that had Citizen Kane and stuff like that. Hey, you had like single movies, maybe not great years. Great movies, maybe not great years. We're going off great years. Plus, like I said, we're limited to 32. Dylan, you look so confused. I should probably just stop talking because I'm tired.
A lot of math, bro. We're not mathematicians over here.
That sounds like a wrap. Yeah, it was a lot to keep track of. That was a lot of fun. I hope you enjoyed this.
My brain hurts. My brain hurts.
This is like one of the great like bar room, Denny's, cafe, like just like no real right answer, so you can just argue endlessly. And there aren't as many of those left anymore with like the internet at our fingertips. We don't get to argue over meaningless stuff as often as we could, just for fun, right? And then walk away, everyone still loving each other. So this is a fun one. Let us know what your favorite years were. Don't just give us 1 or 2 of your favorite movies. You got to go all the way through. Give us the depth.
Yeah.
But we want to hear. We want to hear.
I'll do it. I'll post the bracket in the description box.
Oh, look at that! Right. Above and beyond for the punchies.
Cool.
Why are you sighing? You just said you'd do it. Now you're sighing. All right. Yeah. Anyway, make Brody's sighs worthwhile. If he goes through the trouble of posting it, make sure you download it. So every single eye roll and sigh that he did was not in vain. And we'll see you next time.
Bye. I gotta go to bed.